senior disability activist with cerebral palsy, and I see I may be on the news, but that's interesting because people with speech impediments are never, ever, ever, ever on TV or the news. So, in any case, I wrote a biography called Sustaining Air. That's the only biography in the U.S. of a poet named Larry Eichner, and I've been made fun of and discounted my whole life. I've been called retarded a lot because of my speech impediment. Despite that, 2 master's degrees and my hardest thing of lately is I was accepted as a student in the University of Iceland in Reykjavik to get a BA in Icelandic as a second language. A lot of this march was planned in my bed in rural Iceland. I literally live in a village with 150 people, and Martin came to me, to Van Dyke, Asha Goldenson, Jessica Murray, Jonathan Walker, and Jonathan Walker, and said, let's have a disability march. And we thought, sure, why not? Well, ignorance is a huge thing where all of us have worked about 1,000 hours, and we ended up getting about 30 sponsors and tons of people involved. So this is an issue that people are very interested in. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Jessica Murray, and Dr. Jessica Murray, and she is going to introduce our speaker. Thank you.
Along with Asha Blair Goldenson, since it was formed in 2017. So I'll introduce Asha now. He's a disability rights activist, leads Google Maps accessibility project, and has appeared in the New York Times, Vice News, NPR, and Vital City. Take it away, Asha.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you, JB. I'm Sasha Blair Goldenson. I am a white man with receding salt and pepper hair, sitting in my wheelchair, as always. First, a big thank you to everyone who came out today and all of the people who have fought over the years to pass the Americans with Disability Rights Act of 1990. Because the ADA for 35 years has not only protected the rights of those of us, 1 in 4 Americans living with disabilities, it also protects the future rights of non-disabled folks, because everyone will have a disability sooner or later. As I learned 16 years ago when a giant tree branch fell on me in Central Park, suddenly accessibility was critical. And I was so humbled and grateful for all the work ADA was doing on all of our behalf before we needed. But not everything was accessible yet. like the subways. So we filed suit. We used the ADA and other laws to fight. And we formed the Elevator Action Group with amazing activists from Rise and Resist to raise public awareness. And together, we won. We got out there, we were visible like today. We forced the MTA to a binding legal agreement to triple the rate of elevator installation. So all of those elevators that you see getting built, we did that. Together. But we're not done. Because elevators are just the start. We need clear, audible announcements so blind and low vision folks can ride safely. We need clear visual displays so deaf and hard of hearing folks can ride. Intuitive signage for anyone with cognitive differences. And transportation is just the start. Schools, workplaces. We all need these things to be fully accessible for everyone. We're here not just to celebrate the 35th anniversary of ADA, but to protest what's happening right now with the Trump administration trying to roll back these rights. But guess what? We are not going back. Moving forward, with that, let's hand it off.
Sharon McLennan Weir. She's the executive director of the Center for the Independence of the Disabled, New York. And do you mind coming over this way?
What's that? Here's the interpreter possible.
Good afternoon, good morning. Thank you so much for coming out. ADA, they're positioning me. I am blind, yes. Sorry, I'm not faking. Anyway, thank you so much for coming out, and thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of Sydney, our staff, and 1.8 million people that live with disabilities here in New York City. I'm here to speak about all disabilities, the ones that you can see and the ones that you cannot see. We know that people that have hidden disability have the highest barrier to integration in our society right now. I'm speaking for people that have mental health disabilities. We must do better. We must ensure that every man, woman, and child, regardless of their status, have the right to stay in New York City, enjoy the opportunities in New York City, and be able to age in place. Yes, disability is quite fluid. You can acquire it at any time, at any age. We do not discriminate. You can be black or white, rich or poor, Republican, Democrat, or independent, a Christian or a Jew, gay or straight or lesbian, doesn't matter. Anyone can acquire a disability, so wouldn't it make sense to have an accessible New York City where you can be able to go dine in your favorite restaurant? You'll be able to go to your worship, your place of worship. You'll be able to go to your public library and hear and listen to a book or feel with Braille or be able to see with your eyes. The idea of living in New York City is an opportunity. We have people that come all over the world to be here, and wouldn't it be nice for them to be able to enjoy our city that is accessible? So it's a fight that we are trying to fight for many people. It's not just the 1.8 million people. It's not just the 30% of the US population. It's for each and every American. It's for each and every tourist. It's for each and every immigrant. It's for everybody. The opportunity is vast, and we need to ensure that our policies are fair. So I just want to quickly talk about what ADA did, because we always talk about what is needed to be done. But on this celebration of ADA of 35 years, I want to just highlight some of the things that we take for granted, especially for those people who are able-bodied. Okay, every time you get on a train or a bus and you hear an announcement, that's ADA. Every time you go to Starbucks or Walmart or Target and you have that wonderful family restroom, that's ADA. Every time you buy a book on audible.com or get an accessible book in a library, that's because of ADA. When you're able to go to a bank and take your money out at an ATM that's adapted so that blind people can take their money out, that's ADA. When you actually listen to go to a museum and able to get headsets so that you can hear about the things that happen behind the art, that's ADA. When you're able to go to a show, a movie, and hear a description, or be able to get headsets, because maybe at this point you had too many concerts and you're losing hearing, that's ADA. So many things have happened because of ADA, and guess what? All of us benefit, people with and without disabilities. So I want the non-disabled community to join us and fight for the policy, because you know what? They benefit you too. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Yeah, speak a little bit closer to the mic. Next, we have Eddie Yoon, who's an active New York City public sector worker for more than 51 years and the chairperson of Communication Workers of America, CWA Local 1180's Committee on People with Disabilities. Eddie.
I am a white male with auditory and neurodivergent disabilities. I am wearing a red union t-shirt which says CWA Local 1180, we want the power, and a red CWA Local 1180 cap displaying the political buttons support disabled liberation, and we don't play at CWA with a clenched fist. 90% of my union's members are women and 90% are people of color. In 2019, we won a civil rights case against New York City, paying our women workers of color much less than white males for doing the same work. In 2023, there were more than 5,000 U.S. work-related deaths and more than 2.5 million work-related injuries and illnesses in private industry. Disability pride is the pursuit of disability justice. Disability justice is the right to not be subjected to the ravages of war, occupation, racism, sexism, bigotry, and genocide anywhere on earth. The justice means our New York children with disabilities should not be shipped to the Judge Rotenberg Center in Canton, Massachusetts to be shocked, tortured, and killed. On the first May Day, 120 years ago, 7 workers in Chicago were wrongly convicted for throwing a bomb at police when attacked a strike on May 1st, fighting for the 8-hour working day. Before his execution, defendant August Spies told the court, if you think that by hanging us, you can stamp out the labor movement, the movement from which the downtrodden millions, the millions who toil and live in want and misery, the wage slaves expect salvation. If this is your opinion, then hang us. Here you will tread upon a spark, but here and there and behind you and in front of you and everywhere, flames will blaze up. It's a subterranean fire. You cannot put it out. Neither can the fire of disability justice ever be put out from the San Francisco federal building occupation of April 1977 that got us 504 to the Washington, D.C. Capitol crawl in March of 1990 that got us the ADA. Today is not a celebration. It's a call to arms for disability justice.
Health advocate who founded the Person Center Intervention Training Mental Health Response Program and the NYC Mental Health Collective. Yes, and I'm also the mental health chair of the 504 Democratic Club. And I always say mental illness is not a crime. You see my bag? Mental illness is not a crime. But I'm self-described. I'm an African American woman who lost my hair, tied up in the bun, and the ADA58 t-shirt and glasses. The ADA58 Club is the first political club in the country that has been fiercely advocating for the civil rights of people with disabilities. And today we say, and have always said, hands off our rights. Hands off our rights. And hands off the table. Hands off the table. I am here today as a person living with a mental health condition, to be exact, bipolar disorder. Living with this condition has not been easy. I feel overwhelmed and often feel hopeless, but I'm not alone. Many of us, regardless of disabilities or not just diagnosed at all, we do feel these depressions sometimes. I look around us, I see mental health challenges, whether diagnosed or not, and we deserve a government that recognizes our humanity and protects us and our rights to care. Again, hands off our rights, hands off the table, and hands off the table. All our policies, because the people who are closest to the problem are closest to the solution. Am I right? So, recent policies with our budget cuts to Medicaid, Affordable Care Act, SNAP, and other critical services are putting our lives in danger. We deserve to live, don't we? We deserve to live. Without care, people with mental health conditions decompensate. That means more crisis, more unnecessary hospitalizations, more harmful interactions with police where we can die. We must replace care with trauma. We do not need to be re-traumatized. So again, I say, hands off our rights. There you go. George is a disability rights leader, social entrepreneur, and adaptive athlete committed to building organizations where people with disabilities drive every decision, because there is and must be nothing without us.
George.
My name is George Gallego. I'm a Latino male in my 50s with short wavy brown hair and a clean shaven face. I'm seated in a sleek and yes, sexy manual wheelchair. I'm wearing blue jeans, black t-shirt, blue vest, and I carry myself with a calm, confident presence. For years, we marched under the banner, nothing about us without us. It was a powerful call, a demand to be seen, to be heard, to be included. And I believed in it. I fought for it. I built around it. But today, 35 years after the ADA, I realize that our mantra is no longer enough, because every decision, every policy, every budget impacts people with disabilities. Whether or not the word disability is mentioned, we are affected. Transportation, housing, education, public safety, healthcare, it's all about us. So today I sit here and say, it's not just nothing about us without us, it's nothing without us.
Oh, I got it.
Nothing without us.
Okay, come on.
Just when the topic is disability, but in every room, at every table, in every conversation that shapes our future. We are not a sidebar to society. We are society. At the Access Project, we create space where people with disabilities move, connect, and thrive. At Access Initiatives, we uplift seniors and people with disabilities with care, with purpose, with power. But even now, our spaces are under threat. Our future is uncertain. But still, we find ways to show up. We serve. We build. We don't wait to be invited. We lead. So to every policymaker, every agency, every ally, if you're planning for the public and we're not in the room, start over. Because now and forever, there is nothing without us. The new budget reconciliation law just enacted by the current congressional minority and the president will take away access to healthcare for millions of people with disabilities. It's up to New York State leaders to step forward, keep our healthcare programs whole to serve all New Yorkers. No cuts to Medicaid, no cuts to Medicare, no cuts to home care. Everyone, repeat after me. Keep access alive. Keep access alive. Keep
photojournalist, activist, and founder of a hearing workshop called Disabilities Warriors for Hearing Loss. How's everybody doing today? My name is Lizzie Pastrana. I am a mature woman with curly gray hair, and I wear glasses. I was born into the hearing world. At the age of 35, I began my hearing. I now have bilateral hearing loss. But that has never kept me from advocating for what I believe in and what is right. I was born in an era where most people with disabilities was hidden and silent. But times have changed, and the American Disabilities Act has made us visible and not vocal. And it doesn't end there. We must continue to educate and advocate for ourselves and the next generation. We will not settle, but build on the foundation of the American Disabilities Act. We will continue to be vocal. We will continue to be seen. In today's world, it is more important than ever to make sure we advocate for more laws and to hold people accountable whenever they violate our rights. So we must continue to work together. Repeat that. Your time. Speaker and member of ACT UP New York.
I am a white teenage a trans masked person with a mohawk, and I'm sitting in a wheelchair. As I stand in front of you and ask all of you to continue to choose to resist our current leaders and protect marginalized groups, there will be moments when you want to give up. When statistics or morals don't feel like enough to keep going. So I come to you today, not as a statistic or a label, though in a moment I will list some that apply to me. My name is Lou. I just turned 16, and I'm queer, trans, and disabled, among other things. While these are labels I wear with pride, they are not labels I wish describe me. I did not choose to be trans. I hate that so many people would hate me based purely on me being trans and not the contents of my character. I hate that I would rather spend time deeply, skin crawlingly uncomfortable than tell people I prefer a different name or pronoun out of fear of judgment or reaction. I hate that when I went to a rally with a focus on protecting trans kids, I sobbed. I sobbed because it meant so much to me that so many people actually wanted to protect people like me. I hate that I had to ask my mom if we could go to Canada. Trans healthcare is banned, so I could get top surgery, so I can no longer feel alien in a body that was supposed to be mine. I was told it was mine. I hate the barriers put in place because of my identity. Those barriers do not prevent transness or disability for that matter. I am proud to be trans, but I did not choose transness. I was born like this. I've been like this. I did not choose disability either. To protect trans youth is also to protect people like me. People whose disabilities and chronic illnesses are now habitually deemed too inconvenient for others to actually give a damn about us. I became sick at 13, and my life changed forever. I can't attend school. I can't relate to my peers. I don't leave my house other than to go to doctor's appointments. I'm in constant pain and deeply exhausted. What people don't understand about chronic illness or disability is that I want to work more than anyone else could ever not want to financially support me. I don't want to I can't, and I hate it. I don't want to go to the hospitals or doctor's appointments more than anyone else doesn't want to pay for my care. This was not my choice. I don't want this. But no matter how hard I try, these are my cards, and I will carry them proudly, because whatever frustrations I may face, I do not face them alone. Because I have the resilience and the strength of the disability community with me. Other able-bodied teens, but I have just as much to give to the world as anyone else. So I beg you to give me the small dignity of acceptance, of accessibility, of happiness in all the places where I should belong. As a trans queer teen, as someone dealing with disability and chronic illness, as a human being. That means these are the decisions that impact my future are made. That's making protests accessible so I too can protest. That means having social service systems in place. Because remember, to protect trans youth is to protect disabled youth. And to protect disabled youth is to protect trans youth. Thank you. For advocacy for housing work. Channel.
Kenny would know accessible, really affordable housing is part of that. We are connected in so many ways. The HIV/AIDS movement and the disability rights movement, it goes hand in hand. I say this with one example. when another bad man we had in this city, Giuliani, he attacked people. Today is important. The way we won that case is by using the ADA. That's how we connect. And we can in so many other ways, knowing that people living with HIV who are getting older could become also disabled. And now and forward. But let's be true about this. An attack on Medicaid and Medicare is an attack on people with disabilities. An attack on SNAP is an attack on people with disabilities. An attack on housing is an attack on people with disabilities. And the latest attack on people on homeless with that executive order, that cruel executive order from Trump, is an attack on people with disabilities.
Next speaker is Siri Hudson. I know he's one of my favorite writers and partner of another wonderful musician, Sophie Foster. So here is Siri.
Before. 100 years ago, after a global pandemic killed 50 million people around the world, fascist and eugenic movements rose in the US and elsewhere. Mussolini had been in power for 3 years. Falling birth rates were causing nativist panic here and in many other countries. In the US, white Protestants feared being replaced by their supposed genetic inferiors. Immigrant hordes, in quotes, from Europe and from Eastern and Southern Europe, Mexico, and South America that would pollute the national flood were feared. 1925, the year of a huge Ku Klux Klan march in Washington, D.C. Congressmen, business leaders, and police. Sorry, I'm shaking. It happened. Okay. I just have to be able to read it. Sorry, I'm coming. Sorry. And police did not hide their faces, just as the January 6th insurrectionists did not bother to hide their faces. Here. No, it's fine. It's fine.
that was great. Thank you. Okay, Jennifer, I'm going to hold you. Okay. Immigrant laws forbade, quote, idiots, imbeciles, the feeble-minded, epileptics, insane people, people with constitutional psychopathic inferiority, chronic alcoholism, mental or physical defects, prostitutes, anarchists, person with abnormal sex instincts, cranks, vagrants, and anyone liable to become a public charge. Immigrants were given IQ tests that proved their inferiority. Forced sterilization laws were being passed. They are still on the books in 31 states. Our eugenic laws became models for the Nazi state that would murder over 200,000 people with physical and mental disabilities under the T4 program. Number 47 yammers on about good, bad, and criminal genes, IQ, breeding, and born that way. Addressing a MAGA crowd, J.D. Vance said, "Our people aren't having enough children to replace themselves," end quote. The ugly bill, now passed, is a new version of state-sanctioned eugenics directed against disabled people, women, the poor, immigrants, people of color, and the LGBTQAI community. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility are now dirty words, forbidden from government texts. Hard-won disability rights are being crushed. The cruelty is not incidental. Sadism is elemental to fascist eugenics, then and now. And I don't use the word fascist lightly. The radical cuts in the ugly bill will force people into institutions, increase the suffering of millions, and kill many. Fear is what they want. We refuse to comply. Resist, shout, and above all, tell your stories. Thank
you. Thank you. Okay, now we have our two final speakers, both from Disabled in Action. They're going to come on up here. Come on, Adina. Nadina Laspina is a longtime activist and educator in the disability rights movement who has been arrested countless times for civil disobedience. You can find her in the streets with Disabled in Action, ADAPT, the Disability Caucus, Rise and Resist, and other groups fighting for social justice. Nadina.
Thank you. I am, I think I look quiet, but I see the question because I'm Sicilian. In northern Italy, I'm considered African. I'm sitting, I'm wearing black, I'm wearing my, I'm wearing a black skirt and my ADAPT t-shirt. I'm sitting in a wheelchair that looks manual, though it's semi-motorized. I've been a disability activist all of my adult life. Practically since the beginning of the modern disability movement. I'm now in my 70s. I'm here today on the 35th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. So not a culmination. The ADA was a milestone of the disability movement. We worked very hard to get the law passed and signed. And over there is my ADAPT sister, Julie Farrar. She crawled up the steps of the Capitol to get us law. Julie Farrar.
We worked hard, fully aware that an awful lot of work remained to be done. And though proud of all our movement had managed to achieve in over half a century of struggle, we were aware that a lot of work was still ahead of us when we went to vote on November 5th, 2024. Then everything changed. Normally, the disability community celebrates ADA Day. This group, this year, I am not celebrating. Is this better? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm holding the microphone very well. Normally, the disability community celebrates ADA Day. This year, I am not celebrating. Not when, like other marginalized groups in the United States today, we, disabled people, are under attack by Donald Trump and his fascist administration. As a disability activist and with other disability activists, we refuse to allow our hard-won rights to be taken away. We refuse to allow our people to be hurt by cruel cuts to vital social programs such as Medicaid for the benefit of billionaires. We refuse to allow the laws that we fiercely and tirelessly worked to get passed to be obliterated in the senseless dismantling of the American government and American democracy. As activists, we have been made stronger by the experience of living with a disability in an ableist world. We are not afraid. Repeat after me. We are not afraid. We are ready to fight harder than we have ever fought before. And we invite all people of good conscience to join us. We will never go back. Say it after me. We will never go back. We will never go back. We will never go back. In the words of Justin Dart, the architect of the Americans with Disabilities Act, we say we will lead on. Lead on. Thank you.
And our final speaker is Jean Ryan, who has been a disability rights activist for more than 20 years, and she is the current president of Disabled in Action of Metropolitan New York. Jean.
Hi, everyone. I'm a white senior woman, and I'm in a wheelchair, and I'm a very good example of what can happen to you as you get older. I can't walk well, I can't see well, and I can't hear well. You maybe can't see my hearing aids, but I have them. So, it can happen to anybody. And and then that's when you really find out that you don't have as many rights as you thought you did. So we want to stop cuts to Medicare and Medicaid and home care and SNAP.
Yeah.
Nothing without us. Okay, I'm the last speaker. Let's line up and march and go slowly so everyone can keep up, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Jean Ryan. Nothing without us. Nothing without us. Nothing without us. So, we're gonna march. Couple of things, as Jean pointed out, go slow, be together, so that we can get there together. Yes.
We're gonna go through this pathway, not in the street, but there's a walkway here. It's shaded. And it'll take us over to University, and then we'll go up University to Union Square. Couple of housekeeping things. The banner will go in front of us. So everybody's gonna turn and go up this way to this side of the arch. Anybody that got a sign from us, a sign you didn't bring, can you help to get it back to us? You can look for me or anybody else in a vest, a marshal, and hand it off when we get to Union Square. My name's Jonathan. I'm with the Elevator Action Group. I'm an able-bodied white male with a little salt and pepper in his hair. Thank you.